Hi guys, it's Leanne. So when talking to a few of you, a lot of you are not runners, but you decided to run because feeling trapped in the house going on week 4 can be pretty daunting. We actually had such an amazing day yesterday. So I too was like that. I'm like, I'm going out running, let's do it. And I made the cardinal sin mistake of not doing what I would recommend for you guys. And I'm feeling it today. So I wanted to share with you, there are 6 exercises or 6 movements that we want to do in order to prepare ourselves before a run. Doesn't take a lot of time. Looking about 90 seconds before running. You could even go 2 to 3 minutes after you're done the run, but you're going to see it feels so good, gets the blood flowing, helps to warm the muscle tissue, and prepares the body to work the muscles the best as they can to get the most out of your run. So it's not just cardiovascular. What we don't want to do is create injuries because we don't have muscles that are lengthening, and the muscles that we want firing need to fire in order to get the most out of our workout, right? So here's what it is. Okay, we're going to do a little foam rolling. Now, if you do not have a foam roller, I have to show you this one. It's actually kind of funny. So my 2 kitties thought this was like the best toy ever when they were kittens. So if you decide that you need to get a toy for your kittens, I would highly recommend a foam roller, and then you could use it too. Just leaves a lot of foam and stuff around your house. If you don't have a foam roller, not a big deal. If you have a rolling pin and a towel, that can be a foam roller. The other thing that can be used is, I love a lacrosse ball, but you can also use a tennis ball. Everybody's body is different in how it feels and where we have tightnesses, weaknesses, and balances. So we have to determine what feels good. It's not like go hard or go home, okay? All right, so the 6 areas for runners, I'm going to start on the ground. Some of you have seen me do this before. We're going to start with the biggest muscles and then work to the smaller muscles. The first one, the hip flexors. Those big hip flexors can inhibit the use of the glute. And then we have this glute inhibition going on, and we're going running. We want our glutes firing when we're running. We want to wake up the next day after a run and go, man, I feel good in my glutes. So what we're going to do is, if we have that foam roller, we are going to find our sacrum or tailbone, and we're just going to lay on top of it and gingerly come down and allow yourself just to lay here. All right, what I like to do is, one, ensure that the tailbone is directly on top so you can feel the hip bones. You'll get that release. What we can do with the other leg is lift it up and extend it, just getting some movement, mobility at the ankle. So I'm not going for a huge, deep hamstring stretch. Remember, I'm telling you to do this before a run, so we're not going to do deep stretching before. Just a gentle stretch that you feel through the hamstring, and then you're just going to point and flex. Now, what we want to be focusing on is letting the body weight really drop down on top of that foam roller, okay? We're going to do this exercise for 90 seconds. All right, so thinking toe pulling towards the shin, that's for the ankle mobility, but we just want the weight to drop here. All right, another way, if you're like, I don't feel this at all, is if you have an ottoman, you could place the roller on top of it, make sure it's not near the edge, but that the edge of the ottoman would come to about a few inches above the knee. Okay, probably didn't wear the best pants, but I actually showered. So it would come just above the knee, and I would let my leg hang down, and I could still do that point and flex. Okay, so neck's relaxed. All right, to get off of this, you're going to roll to the side. However, you're going to stay and do that on the other side as I talk about the next exercise. So flip the legs and just listen, okay? All right, so we hit the hip flexors. The next one I want to hit is the psoas. It's a great way to get the psoas. The way that we find that is we find our navel and we find our hip bone. It's not an exact science, but it'll find a close enough spot. And we're going to draw a diagonal line. Okay, now this is where I do recommend the harder ball versus the tennis ball. So even if you have a baseball at home, that works great. Anything circularly that's hard will work great. And if you have a dumbbell, the edge of a dumbbell would work. But maybe you would want to throw just a towel on top of that if they're, metal and they don't have the covering. So with this move, all right, pointing and flexing on that other leg, right? I'm just going to lay on my belly. And I'm going to put my body weight on top And I'm just going to kind of roll around. You have to kind of find the spot. Now, if you have a really cushiony carpet, it's got a lot of cushion, you may want to take this to a floor that's just a little bit harder. Okay, so maybe a carpet that's less dense, or if you have a harder floor, throw a towel down, and oh yeah, when you find it, it feels good. Now this one we may not have to hold a full 90 seconds, but when we feel that point where we're like, oh, kind of takes our breath away, we want to relax our shoulders. We want to breathe deeply in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. And just holding it there. We want to hold about 20 seconds. And then we're going to kind of roll around, see if we can't find it again or just a little bit deeper. If you find you're like, nah, I'm good, I think I got it, great. You're going to move on to the other side, okay? So I'll set up the next exercise as you take that ball. Again, finding the point between the navel and the hip bone, and you're just going to find that diagonal line. That's the starting point, kind of rolling it around. Okay, so big muscles. Our next one, all right, so you're doing the other side for that psoas, is going to be for the quads, right? Quads obviously are always worked. It's really hard not to work them. I like to start, again, we did that hip flexor release, but if I just go a little bit above the crest of my hip, and I'm going to do about a 1-inch small little movement, thinking coming forward as I move through this. All right. If I start on my right leg, my left leg's going to be out to the side. The more body weight I put on top of the roller, the more challenging it's going to be. Okay, so with this, I'm getting a little bit over the hip, and now I'm going to get into the quads. All right, the meat of the quad, the vastus lateralis. All right, I'm just going to turn my body a little bit so I go right into it, and I'm using my arms to help hold my body weight. Now, if you can pick up the back leg, can you see it? Pick up the back leg and put a little more body weight on top. That's going to create a greater intensity. We want to move 1 inch per second, slowly coming forward unless I hit what's called that hot spot. All right, that's that adhesion that's built up. And what we want to do is try and get that to release. So I hold that. As soon as I feel it, you're going to know it. I hold it. I relax my shoulders. I take the deep breaths in, and I continue to hold for about 20 seconds until I start moving just a little bit more forward and back. Okay, so that 1 inch per second. Watch that you're not moving too quickly. I know you want to get this done. This isn't the meat of the workout. I get it, but it really is important. Now I'm going to get just to above the patella. We don't want to roll over that kneecap. That's never a good thing, okay? And once I get to that point, then what I may want to do is reset back up again and find just another spot. So if I was just off center, down the center of my leg, okay, maybe I go right down the middle this time, or I go just a little bit more, maybe like 5 more degrees to that outside. It's pretty good to try and roll the quads at least 3 times before you're heading out there on a run. Most people will find they have tightness unless you've been doing rolling on a regular basis. Now that's the cool thing about this. The more you do it, the less pain and hot spots you will find if you are hydrating well, if you are including some flexibility in your program, if you are not overtraining always in the same movement patterns, meaning all you do is run, you do some other cross-training exercises that move you in a lateral motion. That's why yoga, warrior 2, a lot of the positions we see really open up the body and are well complemented for somebody who is a runner. Okay, now, next one. The IT band. This one I'm going to come side on, and I'm going to bring the leg on top. All right. I want to start just below my hip. And again, that 1 inch per second. Now, if it feels too intense, all right, what I can do is keep a little more body weight towards the shoulder. All right, that will help to alleviate a little bit of this, as well as keeping the bottom leg on the ground. We move this 1 inch per second all the way down the leg. So if you think about it, it's kind of like a Now, you may have heard like don't ever roll over the knee or a joint because the IT band does cross to the outside of the knee and it goes and inserts into the tibia. It is okay to take that a little bit lower. We're not rolling on the front side, but we're going to the outside. So it'll actually probably feel good once you start to get down, and don't stop like I did. I'm assuming you just continue to roll, but I wanted to show that is that once I get past this point, all right, kind of feels good to just drop a little forward and roll in towards the anterior tibialis, okay? So I'm focusing once I pass the knee to really hit just this portion of the lower leg, okay? All right, now, again, if you didn't have the foam roller, like I said, if you took a thick towel and you rolled it over a rolling pin, if you need duct tape, Sarah, my friend Sarah, just message me. She's got duct tape. We could hook you up. She's my source of the best duct tape. So if you need that for at home and you don't have that, all right, we're going to go to the lower leg. This is a big one. People who suffer from plantar fasciitis, they always think, oh, you know, the water bottle with, you know, freezing it, like, and they roll their foot, the bottom of their foot, the bottom of their foot, and they're never really addressing the Achilles tendon. If you look at Greek mythology, they talk about the Achilles heel. Well, if we're not addressing that, good chance you're never going to need that plantar fasciitis. So how do we do it? Love the rolling pin. Okay, I'm going to start just on the back of the knee. All right, let me move back here so you can see me. And I'm going to take a leg, and the leg I'm rolling is on the lower half. So if you tend to feel it, say, more in that right leg, then the left leg would cross over. Of course, you want to do both. Now, this does take a little bit of upper body strength. So if you have to take a quick break to release the shoulders, you can do that. Sometimes just having, like, again, the ottoman by you, that may help for just a little bit of stability. You would just have to start out, and then as you get closer, you would have that ability to hang on to that. So, but it's good upper body workout too. So again, I'm going to work 1 inch per second. Now I really want to relax that ankle, all right? Don't have it tensed. And my butt's off the ground. I'm going a little forward and back, but making my move from the back of the knee towards the heel. Remember, if I feel that hot spot, I'm just going to hold it for a little bit, hold it for a little bit. About 20 seconds, that's the goal. And I'm going to continue to roll. If you have to make that quick transition with the hands, really try and make it quick. All right, now I can make this more intense by putting this top leg on top, or this top leg putting pressure down on the bottom leg. And then I'm going to get all the way down until I reach literally towards my heel. Okay, so that's a big deal. Now, you could also go towards the outside of the leg and do that more than one time. I like after you do, like, you roll the IT band or quads, just to get up and kind of walk around and feel that blood flow. Feels pretty good. Okay. Now, I have a crappy wooden rolling pin because I never cook. So, in fact, this has never been used for cooking. Kiki has used it as a toy, so there's some bite marks on it. But anyway, if you have a marble roller, now that's a nice one because they tend to be a little bit thicker, and you can put them in the freezer. So when we look at that, you know, the water bottle in the freezer, many physical therapists recommend, that works great to have that cold roller. It feels pretty good. Another thing, especially if it's after your workout, to have that in the freezer. So post-workout rolling, it works really well. So if you have any inflammation, you have that ice right on it. Okay, 2 ways for the bottom of the foot. Can you see me? We got a little taller here. No. Okay. Now you just need something to hold on to. So I'm going to use my basketball hoop here. I'm going to have the ball of the foot, okay? Balls of the feet are going to line on the roller, and you're going to try this both ways and see which one works for you, okay? I want to have something to hold on to. It could even be a countertop, but I want to try and get as much body weight on top. So all I'm going to do is start here, and I'm going to do just A little forward and back, wiggling my toes, relaxing my toes as I do this, okay? Now I feel this more towards the outside of my foot. You may feel it more towards your arch. Depends on how your foot is built. All right, so a little forward, back. Oh yeah, good. Found a knot, I'm just gonna hold it there. A little adhesion. Breathe deep, breathe deep. And I'm gonna continue to roll till I get to my heel, okay? Then you could do the other foot with the rolling pin. Also consider trying your tennis ball. Like I said, if it feels too intense with the ball for the Sohus, you could use a tennis ball again on a harder floor. And likewise here, the tennis ball may be something better. So with this, I'm going to just make it a little bit, I have to make little circles so that I can kind of find the areas that may have that build-up adhesion. So it's a small little circle, but I'm still working from the balls of the feet to the heel, okay? Once you find that, woo, you hold that, wiggle the toes. Make sure your toes aren't clenched like a cat that's about to hit water. That's an important thing to remember at any time when you hit those adhesions, no matter where it is in the body, that you don't want to seize up and have your body real stiff. Try and breathe through it, okay? All right, the last one. Real quick, so this is maybe when you're getting ready to run, you can put your shoes on while you're doing it. I could use my foam roller. All right, so I want to get into that Piriformis. Now, it's a little bit harder with the roller. Doesn't get quite as deep, but for some, if you're just starting out, this may work. What I'm going to do is I want to be on one butt cheek, basically. I'm going to cross this leg over if I can. If I can't, that's fine. You may just need to start down here with the leg on the ground. Otherwise, I want to be up nice and tall and try and think of keeping my body weight directly on top of that roller. And I'm just going to work a little forward, back, and even a little side to side. So I'm going to think of a north-south direction, vertical, and then just a rock a little side to side, okay? Then if I can start to create a circle and put those two together, it starts to feel good. All right. So working that, just really trying to get into the Piriformis. But the big one to hit that, the ball. So if you're ready to take it to another level, what we would do is find the middle of that butt cheek, right? Got that gluteus maximus. If we can cross the leg over, oh my goodness. I'm still feeling, I decided to do hill sprints with Brady. I highly don't recommend that when you're over 40 to be hanging out and training with your almost 18-year-old and thinking you should be doing sprints with them. So I'm still feeling this. Oh, good. Maybe that's my grocery order that's ready. Because we're almost there. So small little circles, holding the hot spot, should get good relief. That will get you ready to rock and roll. No, it's Brady calling me, of course, from upstairs, right? Anyway, that should get you ready to roll. So the 6 areas, again, that we need to roll. We want to release the hip flexor. So the psoas major. That's, again, can be done on that ottoman where the leg can hang down, and we could be working a little ankle mobility. That's an important point when we're running, to make use of the ankle, bending the knees, movement through the hip, okay? Second one we go into the quad muscles. So try to get 3 rolls per leg. Third, we want to try and get down the IT band, the psoas, the ball laying on our belly. We want to hit the calves as well as the soleus. That's through the lower leg on the back of the leg. And then we want to make sure that we release under our foot. Okay, so those are the 6 key exercises that are needed in order to really prepare your body for a great run. So hopefully tomorrow will be a really nice day. We could all get out there and be runners, even power walkers, anything. Hopefully you're just staying active. Any movement is good movement. It's never a bad thing to get your body moving. All right, until next time, guys, I think an upper body workout is in the works for tomorrow. See you soon. Have a good night.